So, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this symposium, we'd like to take a moment to reflect on what we've learned and look ahead to what comes next. I'm joined by Ed Bradley, Team Leader for Nuclear Power Plant Operation and Engineering Support in the IAEA Division of Nuclear Power, and Co-Scientific Secretary of this symposium. And together we're going to revisit some of the key messages from our panels and discuss potential actions moving forward. So, Ed, over the past 2 days, busy 2 days, I'd say, we've heard perspectives from regulators, from industry leaders, and technology experts. What stood out to you as the most significant observations?
Yeah, thanks for the question, and thanks for your effort to moderate such a great event. I think just reflecting back, and there were so many good contributions, and I'm not showing any favor in these, are just the ones that stood out in this event in particular. And if I think about the contribution from Manuel from Google in panel 1, where he clearly set the stage, and I really appreciate the way he did it on behalf of the perspective, talking about, of course, the work that Google's doing, but the perspective of the peer organizations as well, to sort of set the stage and let's say, convey the magnitude of what the need is, what the potential is, what the challenges and opportunities are. I really appreciated that. And then those were complemented by Trey on the second panel from Atomic Canyon and his numbers, and he was talking about the scale financially, the network of these companies, compared to, different components of the nuclear sector, commercial utilities, but also in panel 2, Metroscope, and I'm not going to pronounce this right. Aurélien, thank you. But he and his contribution, it's one thing to say that data is important, but then to go down into a little bit deeper detail and talk about some of the most important data, which is on infrequent events. It just isn't there, and it's unreasonable to think that it's ever going to be there. So, and something that didn't necessarily come up during this conference, but I would expect at least to be being thought about out there if you consider use cases of artificial intelligence beyond performance and safety case and regulatory processes, but into let's say emergency response or planning and response and attributes like that, then that type of rare data or integrating, physics-based and other aspects into the AI would seem to me is extremely important. So then moving on, and it's just what's in my mind at the moment, and it's like this soup of implementation and planning, so forgive me if I don't hit all the points. But in the project management space, the game-changing potential, and even the potential to, just as we use actuarial tables, which are information and data to ensure us, life insurance policies, car accidents and whatnot, but to use a significantly, beyond the next level, similar approach to AI to actually consider project performance and to, as was suggested, put money on the line. We think your project is going to proceed in this way, and these risks may or may not manifest themselves, and we're willing to put money on the line to back that up is really game-changing, right? And then finally with the supply chain, and yes, I take the credit, it was my idea to capitalize on Mr. Rydell's quote and his passion for the scope of that panel in general, and I really appreciate him saying that. It's great, and the supply chain is a challenge to the sector, and as Aurélien said, thank you. I also want to go back and he touched on the fact that new capacity and advanced reactor designs is critical, and everyone's excited about that, but you got to use his words, give the existing fleet a little love, and some of that love manifests itself in the supply chain. And so I was really happy with the discussion there and how AI can improve the resilience, both for the deployment of new reactors, but also for the existing fleet. So in the sake of time, and I know that we are between you and the door and Mr. Ashraf, so I'll stop there.
Well,
but thanks to all the participants, really all the contributions. Sorry.
No, thank you for that. And several panels highlighted opportunities for collaboration and innovation. And as co-scientific secretary of this event and all the hard work that the team has put into organizing this, that must make you feel good to have brought so many diverse voices to the table. So from your perspective, what are the most actionable recommendations that emerged? And where do you see us, where do you see the IAEA playing a role?
Well, there were many recommendations for continuing to bring the groups together, and I think this event showed the value of getting the diverse perspectives into the same discussion. I mean, it doesn't have to be a platform like this. We can go down into the details of the implementation level and start unpacking, okay, if we are going to support an activity to build up member state capacity so that they can obtain a better understanding of the risks linked to a new nuclear power project, as the question mentioned, in these newcomer countries. If we can use an AI tool to help them assert and use that capacity, that would be something really interesting. And it's just one example. But I think bringing the community, the diverse community together, I mean, one of our strengths is our convening power and the ability to bring all these together, and we're doing that now, as the side event yesterday showed. I mean, it was implemented by diverse perspectives from 3 different divisions. I mean, it was done, with colleagues in the division where I work of nuclear power, but also the division of nuclear safety and security and the division of nuclear installation safety. So across 2 different departments. And as I think all the side events were really well attended, which is fantastic. Thank you, and thank the organizers. But it's another example of, when we collaborate and work together, we work better, we work stronger, we deliver better projects faster. So let's do more of that.
Yeah, I think it'll be exciting to see what types of activities and outputs we're going to create after this. So as we look beyond the symposium, what do you think are the immediate priorities for member states, for the stakeholders who've been following us to advance AI integration in nuclear energy safely and effectively? What can everyone be doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, keep talking to each other. Please keep talking to us. We're going to take all the recommendations and observations. We'll be having some meetings. We haven't decided quite yet. It might be a bit ambitious to try to organize something before the end of the year, so probably early next year. We want to, at least my recommendation would be to gather, some of these diverse voices that were here this week, or others representing the same perspectives, and help us sort of unpack those. What do they look like? How could the IAEA, within our mandate, develop activities to support member states consistent with those recommendations? But then for those recommendations that fall outside of our mandate, how can we package those up? And if those recommendations apply to policymakers, here you go, to one or both industrial sectors, for your consideration. I think just in doing that, we'll have delivered a service to those stakeholders. And then there are going to be other opportunities where the recommendations, when you look at 3 or 4 of them, these are fantastic opportunities to implement maybe together, under the auspices of different partnership mechanisms, where maybe some of those cases the IAEA will lead, and some of those cases IAEA will be a support organization in an activity led by others. And when you look across the spectrum of all the IAEA implementation mechanisms, we can do all that. So if something's happening and you think we can add value, give us a call, and if our resources allow, we'll pursue it. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much for those insights. Thank you. I think that was a nice wrap-up of many of the ideas we heard the past 2 days. This symposium has shown really the power of bringing diverse disciplines together and the importance of continuing this dialogue. I think we can all agree on that. From the IAEA perspective, from the IAEA side, we'll work to capture these recommendations and work with the member states, with our peer international organizations, and other partners. I think we've met some new friends over the past 2 days and other partners to develop and implement some relevant action plans. I think that's something we can look into as part of our collective ongoing efforts to support the responsible deployment of innovation to optimize performance, strengthen resilience, these themes we've been talking about, manage the commercial risk while ensuring the highest standards of safety, security, and non-proliferation. With that, I'm Lisa Berthelot, Senior Safety Officer in the Office of Safety and Security Coordination, and I hope you have enjoyed the discussions as much as I have enjoyed moderating them. It is now my distinct pleasure to welcome Mr. Syed Ashraf, Senior Scientific Advisor to Director General Grossi and Lead Scientific Secretary of the Symposium, to deliver our closing remarks. Mr. Ashraf.
Good afternoon. So before I give my remark, please give big round of applause for our moderator and the co-scientific secretary. Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished guests, experts, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. As we come to the close of the symposium, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we have achieved over these 2 days of rich and high-quality discussions. When our Director General first proposed the idea of bringing together 2 important high-technology sectors, the vision was clear: to explore opportunities for cooperation, leveraging their capacity and knowledge to advance clean, reliable, and scalable energy solutions. Another key objective was to examine how the nuclear sector can harness the transformative potential of artificial intelligence. At the IAEA, we take pride in sharing knowledge and developments for the benefit of all our member states. And this event has been a step towards that objective. As we heard during the session, small can indeed be beautiful, but also complex. Our symposium was modest in size, yet the topics we tackled were intricate and far-reaching. Thanks to the ingenuity and dedication of our organizing committee, we were able to deliver a comprehensive program. Of course, there is much more to explore, and this is only the first step in a journey that will continue. We have listened carefully to your observations and recommendations. Our next task is to work with you to turn these ideas into actionable steps, so please stay connected with us as we move forward together. On behalf of the Director General, I extend my sincere gratitude to all speakers and panelists for sharing their time, expertise, and insights. I thank all the participants in the room and those watching online. My thanks also go to the organizers, the technical team, the conference staff, and everyone behind the scenes who made this event possible. And finally, let us give a big round of applause for all the participants and the people in the room, please. With that, this event officially comes to a close. I wish all of you a safe journey home and look forward to continuing this important dialogue in the future. Thank you.